end to human life sounds ridiculous to normal people, but not to those blinded by liberalism. Last month, Professor Hawking accused Trump of being a demagogue. He said that he's afraid he wouldn't be welcome in Trump's America. False and false. Good science relies on evidence, and we get plenty. Doomsday predictions about global warming have been proven wrong. There's not a one of them that's come true. But you always draw the wrong conclusions when you inject liberalism into the equation. Is serious about that. This is absurd.
This year marks 20 years since America's darkest day, 9/11. It also marks the start of the Tunnel to Towers Foundation. Born from the tragedy, Tunnel to Towers supports the courageous men and women in this country who are willing to die for you and me. The foundation brings hope to heroes and their families when they need it most. When a first responder or military service member doesn't come home and young children are left behind, Tunnel to Towers pays off their mortgage to lift the financial burden and bring their family stability. For catastrophically injured veterans and first responders, Tunnel to Towers builds mortgage-free smart homes, enabling our most severely injured heroes to live more independent lives. 20 years ago, we vowed to never forget. But that commitment requires action. Take action now. Do good in honor of America's heroes who deserve that and so much more. Donate $11 a month at T2T.org. That's T2T.org. Help America to never forget. Thank you.
Chevy sales desk, this is Marty.
Marty!
Yeah?
Everyone's getting lucky at Victory Lane Chevrolet.
And what, I'm getting lucky too?
No, Marty, you've never been lucky in your life, especially in high school.
All right.
I'm the Lucky Charm, saving customers a pot of gold on new Victory Lane Chevys.
Oh, yeah, so you're the magic leprechaun here, huh?
No, Marty, you're the only one conning your customers. He hung up. Gulf Coast, it's time to get lucky at Victory Lane Chevrolet. Shipments of new 2021 Chevys are arriving daily. Be first in line to save thousands. Plus, get our gigantic cash allowance for any trade. Get lucky now. Find new roads with hundreds of vehicles to choose from. New 2021 Chevy Silverados with savings up to $9,000 off MSRP. All new electric Chevy Bolt up to $15,000 off MSRP. Need credit? Lucky you. Our goal is 100% credit approval at Victory Lane Chevrolet on the corner of Fowler and Winkler. Online at VictoryLaneChevrolet.com.
Stock number S1156 and W1002. Price plus taxes and fees. All rebates to dealer. Silverado offer for current lessees. Bold for current Costco members. Offers do not combine. Expires 3/31/2021.
Nothing runs like a... I need something I can depend on. I need a Kubota.
At Florida Coast Equipment, we have equipment you can depend on. We have the best deals in town for Kubota tractors, mowers, utility vehicles, and Kubota construction equipment. Our family has been Florida's premier Kubota dealership for over 30 years. Whether you're buying, renting, or simply need your Kubota service, come on over to Florida Coast Equipment in Naples. Equipment you can depend on at a price you'll love. Florida Coast Equipment, we've got you covered.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
Well, looky here. It's a Friday on Daybreak. Mike Opelka sitting in for my friend Drew Steele. Jake is telling me that Drew is streaming the show on Facebook and YouTube, and he's put up a picture of me. I don't have it up here, Jake. What image is it? How would you describe it?
A young, snappy Mike Opelka staring off into the distance.
That's weird. Now I'll have to go look during the break. Phones are open today. Wow. 239-479-5592. Walrus in Fort Myers is on the phone. Hello, Walrus. I've got a buddy named Hippo, a golf friend named Hippo. So I guess we're all in the same family.
Yeah, I got that nickname because I'm a bass player. I am the Walrus by the Beatles. Goo goo goo.
That's so funny. That's so funny because Hippo is nothing like a hippo, and you probably look nothing like a walrus either.
No, although I'm slightly brown, I certainly don't have tusks nor flippers.
Well,
anyway,
that's good. What's on your mind on this fabulous Friday?
Well, I heard I just got out of work, and I heard what you were saying about, you don't recognize your America, and that federal employees are going to be getting how much?
Up to $21,000 in paid leave in this stimulus just so they can claim they had to stay home with their kids.
Wow. Okay. Well, I don't have kids. Well, I do have kids, but they're in their 30s. But I'm a federal employee. I wonder what I can do with that.
Well, here's the deal. It doesn't say that the kids have to be in grammar school or high school or college. There's no age requirement.
Wow.
Yeah, page
Okay,
305.
so
it's page 305 of the bill. You can look it up.
Okay, thank you for that.
No
but,
problem.
You know, the thing is, like, I watch what they do, and then I change my behavior based on what they say I can and can't do. For example, over $80,000, you cannot get stimulus money, correct?
75, 150 per couple.
Okay. Now, I do make more than 80, but if I were to put $10,000 of my income into my thrift savings plan, well, that'll bring me down below that number. So that will then make me eligible for a check for $1,400. I'll be saving money and getting a $1,400 check from the government, and so will my missus.
Yeah, and they're in some
America
cases
by making me rich. You know what? I'm rich enough. I don't need to do this. But if they're, I'm not going to let them take money from me so that they can give it away to people who don't deserve it.
Well, especially people who are in prison and people who are here illegally. I'm almost out of time here, Walrus, because we're going to hit the wall. But I'll explain what I'm talking about. Ted Cruz was right, and Dick Durbin was wrong. But Dick Durbin is frequently wrong, and we will address that issue. But yeah, the people who are taking money that you and I worked hard to get and earn, it's just infuriating. I'm out of time this hour. Mike Opelka in for Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News.
This is Daybreak, 92.5 Fox News.
Is foot pain making your life miserable? The Good Feet store specializes in foot pain relief. Call 552-FEET or visit us at the Good Feet store in Naples or our newest location in Fort Myers. Or stop in for a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
Hi, doctor.
So how are you feeling?
With Millennium Physician Group's telehealth service, MPG Connect, be seen by your Millennium healthcare provider in the comfort of your home from your computer, smartphone, or tablet.
So good to see you.
Call your Millennium doctor's office or 844-CALL-MPG to request a virtual visit with the care team who knows you best.
I'll talk to you soon.
Millennium's telehealth service, MPG Connect. Your doctor, your device, your connection to a healthier life.
Social Security. You've spent your entire working life paying into it, so don't you want to get the most out of it? Squeezing it for all it's worth. Justin Pippert and the team at Tri-Found Financial can show you ways to do that with their complimentary Social Security report. It's a great first step to learn how your Social Security benefits can play a role in your overall retirement income plan, especially because the Social Security Administration isn't able to give advice. It's different for everyone, and there are a lot of factors that go into knowing exactly how to maximize your benefits. But based on the decision you make, you could end up with tens of thousands of extra dollars in retirement simply by being informed. Download this complimentary Social Security report from Justin Pippert at Tri-Found Financial at retirewithtrifound.com/security. That's retirewithtrifound.com/security.
Our firm offers insurance services and is not affiliated with or endorsed by the U.S. government or any governmental agency.
Got mold?
In your house?
What do I do now?
Call 239-936-1033.
Call Fire Service, your disaster response friend. 92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 7 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station, 92.5 Fox News.
The president in prime time for the first time. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
America is coming back.
President Biden, as vaccinations ramp up, still told us not to let up. Fox's Rachel Sutherland has more live.
Dave, touting progress on vaccines, President Biden said he's directing states to expand access to shots.
All adult Americans will be eligible to get a vaccine no later than May 1.
The president said if everyone does their part, Americans may be able to safely gather on July 4th, but he cautioned.
If we don't stay vigilant and the conditions change, then we may have to reinstate restrictions to get back on track.
The address came hours after President Biden signed the American Rescue Plan into law. Dave?
Rachel, that's a $1.9 trillion plan. Some payments from most Americans could be going out soon. The president also called for unity again.
Too often, we've turned against one another.
As he again urges us to wear masks after recently criticizing states that lifted mandates as Neanderthal thinking. Texas is one of those states where the attorney general has now sued the city of Austin and Travis County for not rescinding their mask orders. But Austin's Democratic mayor isn't backing down, saying business leaders still want the orders in place. Another governor is lifting restrictions for COVID in Oklahoma.
Republican Kevin Stitt saying he'll issue an executive order Friday to end limits on public gatherings and indoor sporting events and remove a mask mandate for state buildings.
The standard for normal cannot be 0 cases. In Oklahoma, the standard for normal is freedom.
The governor encouraging Oklahomans to wear masks depending on their circumstances.
That's Fox's Steve Rappaport. It's happened again in Portland, Oregon. Fresh protests at a federal courthouse. Fires were set last night, windows smashed, after Mayor Ted Wheeler requested $2 million for police and other agencies to handle a recent surge in violence. Portland's police budget was cut back in June. America's listening to Fox News.
This update is presented by Lee Auto Group. Find your perfect vehicle at lee-cars.com.
Wink News traffic.
Traffic is up to speed on the interstate as of right now. We just have a disabled vehicle that's near mile marker 142, which is heading north towards Bayshore Road. Also, commuters in Fort Myers were slowing down on Daniels Parkway, heading west towards Gateway Boulevard. No surprise there. If you are on Colonial, still good to go heading to the interstate coming out of Lehigh Acres. Also, my commuters in Collier, that slowdown on Immokalee Road between Logan and 951 still happening. So if you want to avoid this, stick to Vanderbilt. That trip to the minute traffic, I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
For today, we'll start with some pretty pleasant weather. Temperatures in the 50s and 60s, and then a high of 83. Mostly sunny and dry, with our winds breezy at times. Fantastic beach weekend. Couldn't ask for anything better. It's going to be a warm one, but plenty of sunshine from start to finish. High temperature of 84 on Saturday, 85 on Sunday, and more warm weather into all of next week. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
More delightful than driving a convertible Bentley while wearing mink underpants. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Hot out today, huh? You know it. Glad the AC's working. No kidding. What if the AC quit? Oh, man. Couldn't do a thing inside then. Too hot. No way Ashley could do her homework in here. Hard to concentrate. Wouldn't even bother trying to study. Well... Of course, her grades would slip. Dave. She could kiss Harvard goodbye. Dave. Probably end up homeless. Oh, my little girl. Dave. What? What's the best case scenario? Best case? Okay, best case, I make one call, AC's back up and running right away, everything's fine. That's best? Oh, sure, but... That's best. Best Home Services. They have 4 AC trucks standing by waiting for you to call, loaded with parts, ready to go. Right now? Right now. Huh. Sure is hot out today. GetBest.com.
When something goes wrong, we're waiting.
So you're saying she can still go to Harvard?
Hi, this is Earl Ron, president of New South Window. New South is Florida's factory direct window company. We manufacture, install, and guarantee your windows for life. One company, one call. Our replacement windows are made to better enhance the energy efficiency of your home and stand up to Florida weather. New South Window, home of the ultimate Florida window for you. Made in Florida, for Florida homes, by Florida workers. because we know Florida weather.
Going on now. Save 35% off factory direct windows and doors. Call 1-800-NEW-WINDOWS.
If you missed getting an extra $8,000 for your old car, pay close attention. The $8,000 trade-in event at Sutherland Nissan Fort Myers and Sutherland Nissan Cape Coral has been extended. Friday through Monday only. Bring your trade to Florida's #1 Nissan dealer and get $8,000 over book value for it. Your $2,000 vehicle is now worth $10,000. Your $10,000 vehicle is now worth $18,000. Any way you look at it, you get an extra $8,000. Sutherland Nissan is taking all trade-ins, no matter the year, make, or model. If you thought your car was worth only a few $100, add $8,000. This event has been extended through this weekend only. It absolutely ends Monday. Don't miss out on getting $8,000 extra funds just for bringing in your old car. Rush to Sutherland Nissan Fort Myers and the all-new Sutherland Nissan Cape Coral, Florida's #1 Nissan dealer, and your used car megastore. Shop online at NissanSales.com or CapeCoralNissan.com. If it doesn't say Sutherland, you paid too much.
See dealer for details.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steele.
Well, it's not Drew Steele, but he's awake because he just sent me a message. Drew Steele, my buddy, is up and tweaking this broadcast by putting pictures up on Facebook and the YouTubes of me, Mike Opelka, America's radio fill-in host, guest host, du jour. Happy to be here. I always show up on Fridays, pretty much always show up on Fridays, and we have some fun. I'm looking over the news, and I mentioned in the first hour that I didn't recognize my country. I woke up the other day, and I was kind of bummed out. I'm like, I don't recognize America. What the heck's happened to my America? What have you bobos done to my country? And then I realized, Biden. That's the problem. Pelosi, Schumer, Biden. Yeah, they're all the big problem, in my humble opinion. And some of you are saying, he is the president. How can you say he's a problem? How can you make that claim? Well, it was a week ago that the president actually started planting this seed in my head. Confused Joseph Robinette Biden Jr. This is unedited.
And Representatives Shirley Jackson Lee, Al Green, Sylvia Garcia, Lizzie Pinelli, Pinell, and what am I doing here? I'm going to lose track here.
What am I doing here? I'm going to lose track here. That's unedited. After he stumbled through the names, it's Sheila Jackson Lee. We call her She-Jack. You called her what?
And Representatives Shirley Jackson Lee,
Sheila.
Al Green, Sylvia Garcia, Lizzie Pinelli, Pinell, and what am I doing here? I'm going to lose track here.
Yeah, you're going to lose track here. Get the Prevagen pump. Hit that button in your pocket, sir. That was uncut, Joe Biden, a week ago. Because a lot of times I get notes from people who say, you're cherry picking stuff from the campaign when he was tired and he brain farted. Yeah, maybe we are. The speech last night was not uplifting. It was not unifying. It was not exciting. I take you back to almost 2 weeks ago when Donald John Trump came out and spoke at CPAC.
Saying he's going to start a brand new party. We have the Republican Party. It's going to unite and be stronger than ever before. I am not starting a new party. We will take back the House. We will win the Senate. And then a Republican president will make a triumphant return to the White House.
Yeah,
and I wonder who that will be.
Me too. I do wonder who that will be. Big difference between that guy and this guy.
Pinell, and what am I doing here? I'm going to lose track here.
Yeah, that is a gigantic difference. Gigantic difference. But, you just keep going forward. I don't recognize my country. I don't recognize my country. California. I know we're in Florida here, but California is part of this. We're bailing out California. We're going to pay California all kinds of money. New York's going to get all kinds of your money. Illinois is going to get all kinds of your money and my money. California in particular bothers me because what they're doing to just destroy any kind of society and any kind of norms and boundaries. I don't know if you saw this, but the image of the two prisoners toasting in their cell with moonshine, the fact that they were going to be released because of the new district attorney's or the state attorney general's rules that's going to cut them loose. These are violent felons, killers who are going to be cut loose, and they're bold enough to toast with prison moonshine and put it on the internets.
Monday night, right here in New Folsom Sea Facility, right here with my celly. Some white lightning, a little cup, boom. Salute. Celebrating us going home on this Gaskin direct. Boom.
Yeah. Gaskin, gonna let him loose. I'm here with my celly. The inmates are running the asylum. I don't recognize my country. We have to do something about it. We have to speak up. We have to tell people this is not acceptable. We can't let this happen. All right, there's so many other things I have to get to today. We have to talk about what's going on with some of the other insanity these people are trying to foist upon us. You're welcome to join the conversation too. 239-479-5592. 239-479-5592 is the phone number. Jake, I forgot to ask you this, but you and I haven't talked too much about your personal life, etc. I'm sure you and Drew do all the time. You probably go bowling together and talk about your lives and your futures. But I don't know, Jake. Do you have children?
I do not. No, I have a cat. That's my kid.
Okay, you have a cat, and you're married or not?
I am single.
Do you have a partner?
Yeah, not really. I mean, no.
Okay. I'm prying. So without kids, would you ever think about having children?
Huh. Like my own kids? I don't know, man.
Yeah. No, somebody else's.
Not the best idea for me to have children. I have tons of nieces and nephews and cousins and stuff. I mean, maybe one day. It all depends. It's just like I'm really cautious about who I would have kids with, because that's the other half of the child. So I'm just very picky and choosy. So maybe one day.
Well, I'm kind of happy you understand the process, that you've wrapped your head around the process, that there is another person involved in this, so that you are a combination of things. But I'm just wondering if you would you want to store, if someone was saying we want to save, like their seed vaults up at the Arctic, they have a seed vault where they've got millions of different seeds in case something bad happens.
Okay.
And we need to replant the earth with vegetation. So there are these seed vaults up in the Arctic Circle. But now they're talking about a human seed vault by building a sperm bank and putting it on the moon. And I'm wondering where you stand on that. Would you like your sample to be part of that?
Of course. Yeah. That'd be cool. I'm all for that.
Well, now you don't get to go there.
No, that's fine.
Yeah, they'll take your donation here on Earth.
In spirit, I'll be there.
Yeah, that's true. Well, in genetic material, you'll be there too. So we are headed back to the moon. China has recently planted a flag on the moon. There are 12 flags from America planted on the moon in honor of our moon missions, and our 6 flags planted on the moon. 12 Americans walked on the moon. China has planted a flag, but we're going back to the moon. I believe we are. I kind of was worried that Biden wouldn't want us to go back there, but it looks like scientists are planning on a modern global insurance policy, as they're calling it, which will establish a sort of a species bank with 6.7 million of the Earth's reproductive cells from men and women. So eggs and swimmers all frozen up on the moon in case we have a natural disaster here. Now, here's what I wonder. If you do this, you spend all this money, it's going to be billions and billions of dollars to put this on the moon, and something bad happens here. How are we going to be able to get up there? That's what I want to know. Anyway, the idea is an interesting one. They say Earth is naturally a volatile environment, so the lunar pits and lava tubes for a modern ark is being proposed. And I would like to, I don't know enough about you, Jake. I mean, I like you and you seem like an amiable guy, and your head is apparently screwed on straight enough so that Drew will tolerate you every single day. But we have almost 8 billion people on the planet. If we're going to pick 3.5 million men and 3.5 million women, how are we going to select them? That's what I want to know. We have to figure out how.
It's a valid question, but I will say that the idea of me actually using my DNA to repopulate the Earth if something went wrong is actually pretty interesting. So that'd be cool.
Yeah, it's an interesting thought, isn't it? And we'll get into that. I also need to get a friend of mine to call in today. What kind of car do you drive?
A Honda.
Okay, you know anybody with a Kia?
My mom has a Kia. She has a Optima, or one of the new ones.
Okay, well, Kia just sent out a note, an email, an alert to 380,000 owners of cars to park their cars outside. And I'll tell you what, we'll jump away because I have a buddy who's an automotive expert. And we need to find out what the heck's going on, because when your car company says, yeah, don't put that car in the garage, park it outside. We need to find out what the heck's going on, especially if your mom owns a Kia. So we'll dive into that. And if you want to join the conversation today, whether or not it's about whether you should nominate yourself to be part of the new bank that's going up to the moon for eggs and swimmers. I know they want to set up a humans Noah Ark to repopulate the Earth. The phone number 239-479-5592. Mike Opelka in for Drew Steele on Daybreak on 92.5 Fox News.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
Traffic is up to speed on the interstate as of right now. We just have a disabled vehicle that's near mile marker 142, which is heading north towards Bayshore Road. Also, commuters in Fort Myers were slowing down on Daniels Parkway, heading west towards Gateway Boulevard. No surprise there. If you are on Colonial, still good to go heading to the interstate coming out of Lehigh Acres. Also, my commuters in Collier, that slowdown on Immokalee Road between Logan and 951 still happening. So if you want to avoid this, stick to Vanderbilt. That trip to the minute traffic, I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
83 degrees for your Friday, mostly sunny, and we keep all that sunshine going through your awesome beach weekend forecast coming up. High temperatures still remaining into the 80s. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
When your liberal relatives from up north come for a month, turn up 92.5 Fox News in the house, in the car, and on the radio at the beach. 92.5 Fox News. Run all along.
Is your car a 2012 or newer with less than 120,000 miles on it? Would you rather be driving a brand new Nissan equipped with all the latest technology and safety features? Hey, Aaron Walker here from Naples Nissan. If your trade-in is a 2012 or newer, yes, a 2012 or newer with less than 120,000 miles on it, we'll give you the original base MSRP for it so you can drive home in a brand new Nissan. Bring us that old Chevy, Honda, Toyota, Ford. We don't care where you bought it from. We don't care if you bought it new or used. Go to NaplesNissan.com. Pick out your favorite new Nissan model with Bluetooth, backup camera, and that new car smell. You can have it all today after we pay you what you paid for your trade-in. Don't wait. Get full details at naplesnissan.com. Offers on select models with approved credit and cannot be combined.
NCH Heart Institute is home to the most experienced and most dedicated team of physicians and nurses in Southwest Florida. Over the past 30 years, NCH Heart Institute has mastered the quality, the care, and the holistic patient experience that can only be found within a nationally ranked heart institute. Caring for a patient, mind, heart, and body. That's the cornerstone of our critical care team, which ranks in the top 2% of all hospitals in America. NCH Heart Institute, at the heart of what matters most.
Nothing runs like a... I need something I can depend on. I need a Kubota.
At Florida Coast Equipment, we have equipment you can depend on. We have the best deals in town for Kubota tractors, mowers, utility vehicles, and Kubota construction equipment. Our family has been Florida's premier Kubota dealership for over 30 years. Whether you're buying, renting, or simply need your Kubota service, come on over to Florida Coast Equipment in Naples. Equipment you can depend on at a price you'll love. Florida Coast Equipment. We've got you covered.
This is Mike Roberts, Vice President at Mortgage Warehouse, Southwest Florida's mortgage price leader and home of the no closing cost mortgage. No points, no hidden fees, no loan costs, period. If the mortgage you have right now was done prior to COVID-19, you should call us for a free review. At Mortgage Warehouse, we understand how frustrating it can be to make your mortgage payment month after month, and the loan balance just doesn't seem to go down. The payment is mostly interest, but we can help with that. We can combine near record low mortgage rates with our local no closing cost program to improve your mortgage payment right away. You do not have to roll any closing costs into your loan balance to get these ultra low mortgage rates. You can apply online at mortgagewarehouse.com or call 313-5000. That's 313-5000. MortgageWarehouse.com.
Certain restrictions apply. NMLS ID 137154. Equal housing lender.
We've been waiting for COVID-19 vaccines to be developed. Now, waiting for them to get to us. But you can do more than wait. You have powerful ways to help slow the spread right now and protect your family and loved ones too. Here's how. Watch your distance. Stay at least 6 feet away from folks you don't live with. It's risky to be indoors with them, too. And, of course, avoid crowds. Also, wear a mask. CDC reports masks protect the people who wear them and folks around them. And wash your hands using soap and water for 20 seconds. And do it frequently. Vaccines won't make COVID go away overnight, but they give us a real chance to finally overcome it. As long as we keep watching our distance, wearing our masks, and washing our hands.
Learn more about vaccines at cdc.gov/coronavirus. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
It is Daybreak without Drew Steele. Mike Opelka sitting in for my friend Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News. I'm usually here Fridays at 8:30 hanging out with Drew and talking about some of the stories of the week. Some of the crazy stories of the day, but I'm here today, all day, and you can join me right here on the radio, 239-479-5592. We will get back to some of the other news because I have some infuriating stories that are really bugging me. But I saw this story yesterday. It popped in my timeline, in my news timeline, and it said, Kia tells 380,000 car owners to park outside. And I'm like, well, that's kind of a weird story. So to understand it fully, I reached out to a friend of mine who is an automotive expert. She's a race car driver, a car reviewer, and we may have had Lauren Fix on the show before. She has a YouTube channel called Car Coach Reports that does kind of cool stuff every Friday as well. So Lauren Fix is up early joining us. Are you on Amelia Island today, Lauren? Is that where you are?
Yes, I am. I'm enjoying the beach.
Well, I appreciate you getting up early and taking away from beach time to join us. What the heck is the story on this request to park your car outside your Kia?
Right now, it's not all Kia. So keep in mind, 380,000 is a lot of cars. So if you're in doubt, before I go through all the models and so forth, I would suggest if you have any concerns, you're thinking, boy, I smell something, it's not running right, I've got a lot of alarms on my dash in front of me, call any local Kia dealer, ask for the service department, give them the vehicle identification number, and they can tell you if you're part of this recall or not. And this is really an important one. I mean, people park their cars in their garages all the time. And if this is a serious situation, they tell you actually park it away from your home. And I'll tell you the vehicle so that you know, you may not even figure this, you may not even be in this list, but at least if you're any concerns, you're best off calling the service department, especially if you're the second owner. First owners will be notified. Sometimes they don't know who it changes hands to. You could be the second or third owner down the way, and especially because this goes back to 2017. So it's 2017 to 2021. That's brand new. Kia Sportage SUVs, and 2017 to 2019 Kia Cadenza. That's a sedan. They're not making that anymore. Kia is telling people that there's a short circuit going on, and it can actually cause a fire with a hydraulic brake fluid. Now, I actually am an engineer as well, so when I work with these things and you think, wow, what's the odds of that happening? Very, very low. But you should know that when the National Highway Traffic Administration gets involved, there's something going on. There has been one death, and there has been some serious fires. And in order to be safe, if you own one of those vehicles and you haven't checked it, you haven't got a notification yet, park it outside, away from a structure. Hopefully you have no issues. But how do you know if you're having one? This is kind of important to note. If you're driving the vehicle and you get notifications on your dash, a light that comes on, you smell burning, lots of warning lights, all kinds of funky problems, like you smell an odor. Those are signs that your vehicle could have this issue. And if it does, make sure that if you're parking it someplace away from other cars, away from people and animals, because this could be serious. Now, what typically will happen is Kia will take the vehicle, they'll repair it. If it's something serious, they'll replace it. So, this is something that should be no cost to you. And because this is a National Highway Traffic Safety Administration issue, you should get a loaner car. So don't let the dealer say, we don't have anything, we can't help you. No. This is their fault. They should be covering it.
We love that. Lauren, I'm up against the wall. I want to remind everybody, Lauren fixed the Car Coach and the Car Coach Reports YouTube channel. Thank you, Lauren. Always great advice and important advice. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
And you're welcome. There she goes. And here I go. Mike Opelka in for Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News, right all along.
This is Daybreak.
92.5 Fox News.
Imagine replacing your old kitchen with the kitchen of your dreams. Brand new custom-made cabinet doors. Drawer fronts, hand-finished by true craftsmen. Designer hardware, new hinges, and everything installed beautifully in less than a week, start to finish. Expensive? No. To the contrary, with refacing by Cornerstone, you'll save so much, we should really talk about your master bathroom, too. Go for wow. Go for Cornerstone.
At LMCU, our roots in your community just got a little deeper with the opening of our 5th branch in Naples and 13th in Florida. When you bank with us, you can earn more on your money with our Max checking account and pay less on things like home mortgages and credit cards. Our latest Naples branch is located at 7405 Devonshire Boulevard, and our lobbies are open. Plus, you can schedule an appointment or visit one of our drive-thrus for contactless service. Our branches stretch far and wide for a reason. You. LMCU. You'll love banking here. Equal housing lender, member NCUA, and MLS number 442-967.
Hey, Southwest Florida. It's your friend Tyler McCluskey here, coming to you from 92.5 Fox News. Again, we're just promoting our brand new show, The Tyler McCluskey Show, every Saturday at 11 a.m. right here on 92.5 Fox News. Every week, we're going to have a new guest on, local businesses, helping you grow, everything that you need to know, the insurance space, mortgages, real estate. Please visit our website at www.tylermccluskey.com and tune in this Saturday at 11 a.m. on 92.5 Fox News.
Searching everywhere for great prices on appliances? No.
You're not, because you have better things to do. Besides, Good Deals has it for less, and they have plenty of items in stock despite shortages everywhere else. Remember, Good Deals guarantees the lowest price on everything they sell. Find a lower price anywhere, and Jay will beat it. Guaranteed. Visit one of the showrooms in Fort Myers, Naples, and Cape Coral, or shop online at GoodDealsAppliances.com.
Good Deals Appliances. Have we got a deal for you?
Did you know that King Roofing has expert dedicated repair crews to troubleshoot roof problems? They can fix everything from tree damage to broken tiles and, of course, roof leaks. Do you have a leak or water stains or tile damage? Call King Roofing, a roofing company with the right team to repair it. King Roofing, experienced in roof repair for over 40 years.
License number CCC 057279.
Every castle deserves a king.
More delightful than driving a convertible Bentley while wearing mink underpants. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Fox News. I'm Chris Foster. In a speech marking 1 year since the start of the coronavirus pandemic, President Biden says he wants all adult Americans to be eligible for vaccinations by May 1st. And he says too often the pandemic has turned us against each other.
A mask, the easiest thing to do to save lives. Sometimes it divides us. States pitted against one another instead of working with each other.
He also condemns hate crimes against Asian Americans. There have been more over the last year, including recently.
An elderly Asian man is brain dead after being mugged in Oakland. Suspect Tiante Bailey remains behind bars. The assault comes just weeks after another suspect was arrested for attacking 3 Asian victims in Oakland, including a 91-year-old man. And in San Francisco, an 84-year-old man, originally from Thailand, died days after being assaulted.
Fox's Tom Graham. America's listening to Fox News.
This break is sponsored by Cornerstone Builders. Give us the opportunity to wow you.
Wink News traffic.
There's a crash on Lee Boulevard at Leonard that is blocking westbound lanes on Lee Boulevard. If you're heading to the west of Alvin Avenue, traffic is backing up. So heading out of Lehigh, better option, State Road 82. Also, Gunnery Road is congested if you're heading south of 23rd towards the Daniels Extension. No surprise there. And Lehigh Acres, a crash at Hannah and 19th, slowing traffic at the intersection. If you are in East Lehigh, Milwaukee is slowing down east to Columbus. That's your up to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
For today, we'll start with some pretty pleasant weather. Temperatures in the 50s and 60s, and then a high of 83. Mostly sunny and dry, with our winds breezy at times. Fantastic beach weekend. Couldn't ask for anything better. It's going to be a warm one, but plenty of sunshine from start to finish. High temperature of 84 on Saturday, 85 on Sunday, and more warm weather into all of next week. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
From smartphones and TVs to desktops, laptops, and tablets.
Every audio device in this hemisphere.
All you have to do is tell your smart device to play 92.5 Fox News.
I gotta tell you how awesome it is when my family comes over and I say, you're gonna get great tasting water straight from your faucet. I'm telling you, it's great on your skin, your hair, and your appliances. Think of what your water's doing now. Well, you should call now for your free multi-point Pentair water test. And I'm telling you, you're gonna love the way your water tastes with your new Pentair water system. Every faucet in your house, it's the coolest thing ever. And there's a big difference when you call a Pentair water specialist. When you give Max a call at Pentair, trained, uniformed experts in our city and well water, that's a big deal, right? With their mobile showroom, you're wondering what you're going to get. A wide range of water treatment options, and you can see them in front of you. They install your new Pentair water system for you, and the big news right now is Pentair has a new Easy Flow under-counter filtration system. It is certified to reduce 99% of lead. Call now for your free water test, and right now save 15% on your whole home water system like I have in my house. With Pentair, never any sales pressure, so call them 239-880-7799 or book online at PelicanWestFL.com.
Chevy Sales Desk, this is Marty.
Marty!
Yeah?
Everyone's getting lucky at Victory Lane Chevrolet.
And what, I'm getting lucky too?
No, Marty, you've never been lucky in your life, especially in high school.
All right.
I'm the Lucky Charm, saving customers a pot of gold on new Victory Lane Chevys.
Oh, yeah, so you're the magic leprechaun here, huh?
No, Marty, you're the only one conning your customers. He hung up. Gulf Coast, it's time to get lucky at Victory Lane Chevrolet. Shipments of new 2021 Chevys are arriving daily. Be first in line to save thousands. Plus, get our gigantic cash allowance for any trade. Get lucky now. Find new roads with hundreds of vehicles to choose from. New 2021 Chevy Silverados with savings up to $9,000 off MSRP. All new electric Chevy Bolt up to $15,000 off MSRP. Need credit? Lucky you. Our goal is 100% credit approval at Victory Lane Chevrolet on the corner of Fowler and Winkler. Online at VictoryLaneChevrolet.com. Stock number S1156 and W1002. Price plus taxes and fees. All rebates to dealers. Silverado offer for current lessees. Gold for current Costco members. Offers do not combine. Expires 3/31/2021.
Dr. Svetlana Kogan here, a board-certified internal medicine concierge physician on 5th Avenue South in Naples. Many of you wonder what holistic practice is. Well, good health is like a puzzle. It depends on how you perceive yourself, your environment, what you eat, your relationships, and lifestyle. It takes time and skill for the doctor to put these pieces of the puzzle together for you and come up with solutions customized to your specific needs. Holistic doctors believe that less medication is better and use preventive approach to keep you out of harm's way. This is also a concierge practice. Every patient gets my email and cell phone for emergencies and can be seen the same day if necessary. You are seen by me personally, and we take all the time that you need. You can visit my website, customlongevity.com. That's customlongevity.com to learn about how I, Dr. Svetlana Kogan, can help you feel healthy and balanced again.
Are you looking for the perfect spot for your retirement? Just add water. Shell Point Retirement Community is located in Fort Myers on the Caloosahatchee River, just minutes from the Gulf of Mexico and Sanibel Island. Enjoy a vibrant waterfront lifestyle with miles of walking and bike trails. For boaters, there's a private marina with free boat docks to keep your boat right at home. Or join your friends on the community boat for cruises to local restaurants and beaches. Shell Point is comprised of 7 neighborhoods with scenic water views. Life slows down on the water as residents enjoy kayaking through hundreds of acres of secluded bird-filled waterways. To learn more about waterfront living at Shell Point, schedule a private appointment or attend one of our weekly group seminars, which include a tour of the community. Call 239-466-1131 or go online to shellpoint.org. Enjoy waterfront living today. It's all here at Shell Point.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
It is 92.5 Fox News. Daybreak. Drew Steele not here today. Mike Opelka sitting in for my friend Drew. If you've been here before when I show up on Fridays, then you know what to expect. Something newsy, something a little off the beaten path, as it were. And we'll get into some of the craziness that's out there because there's a whole bunch of crazy out there. Yesterday, I saw something happen that made me stop and pause and say, wait a minute. Was there just an outbreak of journalism at CNN? Did something actually happen that has journalistic integrity from a CNN reporter at the White House briefing? Jen Snarky, the White House press secretary, was asked a question by a CNN reporter, and I think it was actual journalism. Listen.
Question on the border. The administration has refused to call it a crisis, instead referring to it as a challenge and saying what you call it doesn't make a difference of how you're responding to it. But now today there are over 3,700 children, unaccompanied migrant children, in Border Patrol custody. They're spending on average over 100 hours, 4 days in these facilities that are jail-like facilities not meant for children. So how can you say that's not a crisis?
Now, that question alone deserves a round of applause coming from a CNN reporter and not from Peter Doocy from Fox. I was absolutely gobsmacked, stunned. I couldn't believe it. And I thought, someone's going to get fired at CNN. There's going to be a talking to. Someone's going to get a serious sit down with Jeff Zucker. Rhymes with Hooker, the head cheese over there at CNN. So this reporter from CNN actually asked, if the border is a crisis, how can you not call it a crisis when you've got 3,700 kids, most of them staying at least 100 hours, like 4 days in jail-like facilities? Sounds like kids in cages, doesn't it? Wow. Jen Snarky tried to answer but didn't really answer.
Well, I think what Ambassador Jacobson and Secretary Mayorkas were conveying, and what I've conveyed, is it doesn't matter what you call it. It is an enormous challenge.
Yes, it does matter what you call it, because all throughout the Trump administration, you guys said kids in cages, ripped from the arms of parents. So it does matter. But continue, you obfuscator.
It is something that is front and center for the president. As I noted yesterday, he had what is a regular meeting, but he had a briefing yesterday on the trip to the border. And there are a number of, while there are no final policy decisions, there are a variety of actions under consideration, including identifying and assessing other licensed facilities that can help add safe capacity for these children, relaunching, as we talked about over the last couple of days, the Central American Minors Program, accelerating the unification of children with vetted families, family and sponsors, steps like embedding HHS and ORR in the earlier parts of the process. So, the president is very focused and very in the weeds on the operational details here, and on taking and pushing his team to take every step that can be taken to address exactly what you noted, Caitlin, which is the fact that children should not, these Border Patrol facilities are not made for children.
No, they're not. And they're more like jails than you'll ever admit. I just was astounded. You want to circle that day, March 11th, a CNN reporter, it might have been her last day of work, a CNN reporter actually asked a question that had real journalism involved, and she really didn't get an answer. I liked it when Jen Snarky said, the president's in the weeds. Yes, he is in the weeds. He's mentally in the weeds. And it wouldn't be a Jen Snarky press conference if we didn't get a question from Peter Doocy that irritated Jen Snarky.
Okay, and then in terms of keeping COVID out of the country, does the White House think that it's a problem that travelers have to show a negative COVID test, proof of a negative COVID test, when they fly into the U.S. from any foreign country, but travelers don't need to show anything like that when they just walk across the border, as long as they don't go to a port of entry?
Now, I love this question. This is Mr. Doocy, who usually asks the only real journalistic questions. The other questions are all fluffing, I think that's the term they use in the adult entertainment industry. They just fluff the press secretary and the president. But this question about the border, because we have a crisis at our southern border. We have people streaming in. And there are unescorted children without their parents being used by these coyotes. And they're not being tested. And you have to pass a test to come back into this country. But if you just walk in illegally, oh, you're good. Come on in. It doesn't make any sense. But what does Jen Snarky say?
Well, I think there's been a lot of confusion about what's been happening at the border as it relates to people who are coming across and what happens when they come across.
Yeah, we know. We know what happens when they come across right now. If there are unescorted children, they're put in jails, according to the terminology from the CNN reporter. And they're allowed to go to school, unlike the children in many states where lockdowns are preventing the kids from going to school. So that's going on. And they're going to be given the right to now plead their case. Because let's face it, if you get across the border in Texas or New Mexico or Arizona or California and you put 1 foot on U.S. soil and you say asylum based on this administration, they have to take you in and process you. And we are now early in the migration season, very early, and we're seeing records being set. We're seeing insane records being set along the border. And this administration has been fibbing to us about what's going on. They're not telling us the truth. In fact, people like Chuck Schumer have been doing everything they can do to rewrite the story and tell a completely different story and smear the Trump administration for what it did, which I thought was amazing. What Donald Trump did in terms of our border, our southern border, was nothing short of a miracle because, let's face it, through it all, he was still dealing with the Russia investigation, the impeachments, 2 impeachments, the Russia investigation. He still got a huge chunk of the wall built and got Mexico to build a camp where people would wait for their turn to go through the asylum situation, the asylum process. But Chuck Schumer's telling lies to everyone who will listen about what went on during the Trump years.
Joe Biden inherited a huge mess on immigration,
and he made it a lot worse. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have stopped him, but he just makes me so angry, this guy.
Joe Biden inherited a huge mess on immigration, and it's not going to be cleaned up in a month. His view of immigration is not like Donald Trump's, who was nasty, negative, horrible to immigrants. His view is more like your father's view and my view, which is compassionate, but also competent.
I'm sorry. That's just a load of hooey, Senator Schumer. Donald Trump thought about America first. And that's really what we need, is America first. And if that makes me a bad person, then I want to be a bad person every damn day. Just infuriates me to see what's been going on our southern border. And these people, all they're doing is looking at the people coming across the border as future Democrat voters, especially the young kids, because they want to lower the voting age to 16 now, because you know what great decisions 16-year-olds make. That's where they're going with all of this. Pelosi, Schumer, all of them. They want the voting age down to 16. If they could get it to 12, they would. Insanity. All right, I have to step aside for a few minutes. Speaking of Mexico, Mexico is set to become the world's largest marijuana market. They're going to make marijuana, recreational marijuana, just completely legal. So Canada's done it. Mexico's doing it. They're squeezing us, aren't they? I'm not a fan of legalizing recreational pot. That's me. But Mexico is pushing now to get this done. Where do you stand? Good idea? Bad idea? 239-479-5592. 239-479-5592. Mike Opelka in for Drew Steele on Daybreak on 92.5 Fox News.
92.5 Fox News.
A crash in Collier at Camp Kies and Oil Well is slowing traffic east and west on Oil Well. Also delays southbound on Camp Kies. Now, if you are in Lehigh Acres, a crash at Hannah and 19th is delaying traffic at the intersection with roadblock. The crash also in Lehigh at Lee Boulevard and Leonard with westbound roadblock is delaying traffic heading west of Alvin towards State Road 82. That trip to the minute traffic, I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
83 degrees for your Friday, mostly sunny, and we keep all that sunshine going through your awesome beach weekend forecast coming up. High temperatures still remaining into the 80s. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
This is Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News.
Your home is more important now than ever before. So when your air conditioner needs maintenance, repair, or replacing, Conditioned Air wants to be your first and only call. The Florida weather can be challenging. When you have a cooling issue, our team is here to resolve it quickly and efficiently. You can be assured of honesty, respect, and our desire to exceed your expectations every single time, and we've been doing that since 1962. Conditioned Air, 1-888-COLD-AIR, or online at conditionedair.com. License number CAC 1819590.
Hello, Florida. This is Representative Bob Rommel with this week's interesting Florida fact. Mandate masks, shut down the economy, obey the Socialist World Health Organization. This was the liberal response to COVID-19. Their plan was based on misinformation, panic, fear, and faith in the federal government. That's why I filed HB 945, limiting local government's powers during a state of emergency. Here in Florida, we used common sense measures that kept our economy open, protected our churches, and reopened our schools on schedule. And the results in Florida's COVID response has succeeded while other large states like New York, California have failed. permanently harming their economies and their people. Small government that is responsive to the people works every time. Florida, we believe in liberty, protecting lives, conservatives in charge, a better COVID response, a better economy, and no income tax. Let's keep it that way. Paid by Bob Rommel, Republican for State Representative.
True relief for back and neck pain.
In my office, Johnston Spinal Care 596 Back, every day I talk with patients that for so many years just suffered with back or neck pain. Many just assuming that it was normal or something they had to live with. They'd tried injections, epidurals, or even surgery with no success, always looking for a chair to relieve pain, or always dreading pain while sleeping or getting out of bed. It's time to treat the root of the problem. Please don't think there are no other options. You can overcome problems from sciatica, stenosis, neuropathy, bulging degenerative discs, or scoliosis. Non-surgical spinal decompression can change your life. Think of how much happier you'd be without pain. This Medicare-friendly treatment combines science and technology to offer a state-of-the-art, non-surgical procedure that is remarkably effective. We always offer a free telephone consultation and free x-rays to see if you're a candidate for spinal decompression. Johnston Spinal Care, we're here for you. Call 596-BACK, 596-BACK. That's 596-2225.
I have some very good news to report. I'm Lois Tomey from Wink, and in the month of February, we invited you to join us on a march to 1 million meals. And join us you did. Wink was able to raise funds to provide more than 1.4 million meals to fight hunger right here in Southwest Florida. As part of the community for over 60 years, Southwest Florida is our home. We live, work, and raise our families here. Thank you for your support in our ongoing mission of feeding families. Wink Feeds Families, a community project of Wink.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
It's Friday, and we are celebrating Friday. Mike Opelka in for my friend Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News. I was just sent something by a friend. And you know, Drew likes to make the parody songs, and he does such a good job with them. The guy's a genius, and he makes me laugh so hard. And occasionally I get to help out and suggest a line here or there. And I have another friend who makes parody songs, and he just sent me one. And I know I had said I'm going to go one direction, but when something like this comes in, we have to share it. And then we'll get to the topic of recreational marijuana in just a second. So hang on, AJ, because I have to play this. So many of us have ties back to New York, and New York's Governor Cuomo, who's just the worst. And, you know, he's only outdone by that Frankenstein communist de Blasio, whose real name is Warren Wilhelm, the mayor of New York City, the only guy in New York government who's worse than Cuomo, even though Cuomo killed 15,000 people, seniors, and now accused of groping and sexually harassing and sexually intimidating 6 women. And a buddy of mine, as I said, sent me a parody song that I have to share with you because it's Drew Steele's show and he loves the parodies. I'm sure you'll recognize the tune.
I'm Andrew Cuomo, and everywhere I go, the ladies all really love me. Some don't understand that I'm the funny man. They think they're above me. Their little hearts do little flips when I kiss them on the lips. I don't ever need permission. When the end comes, I know they're laughing at Cuomo. They're about to fire me, 'cause I wanna touch your body. I'm governor, let's play some strip poker. I'm such a big joker. I'm so very funny. Kiss me, honey, Ain't that funny? Won't some sweet mama eat a sausage slowly for me? Wouldn't that be funny? I'm the governor, wanna be loving you. I wanna touch your body. I'm governor. Let's play some strip poker. I'm such a big joker.
And there he goes, Governor Cuomo singing his little song. Apologies to Louis Prima and David Lee Roth. Both of those guys had hits with the song Just a Gigolo. We had to do it. We had to do it. Maybe we'll play it again before we get out of here. I think that's a pretty good one. I think up until today, I thought Cuomo was going to get by. I thought he was going to skate. But after we heard the last complaint was sent to the police, referred to the police, possible indictment or arrest? Possible? Yeah, we'll see. All right. I mentioned before the break that that Mexico is trying to squeeze us. Mexico and Canada are trying to squeeze America into legalizing marijuana recreationally. And I'm not a fan. And I was a user in college. I'm not going to lie about it. And yes, I inhaled a lot, but I don't think I don't think we know enough. And I don't think it's a good idea. AJ in Fort Myers is joining us on the phone. AJ, welcome to Daybreak, sir. Where are you on this hot topic?
Truthfully, I am 100% for at least decriminalizing marijuana.
Okay.
Recreational is a different subject. But in my experience in my life, I know a lot of people that actually get good medical benefits from it. So for me, I've seen the good that it can do. And I know it's kind of an odd fact, but there's only one other place in the world that you can find THC or CBD that naturally exists, and that's in mother's breast milk, which we can't say anymore, I understand.
Yeah, you're right. How dare you? Shame on you. I am a big advocate of medical. I've seen what medical marijuana can do. I worked alongside Montel Williams for a long time, and I've seen how it helped him with his MS. I have a niece in Illinois who has a law named after her that allowed kids who have benefit from medical marijuana to use it in school campuses. And she stopped all of the medication she was taking. She had seizures every day for 7 years. They switched her to a medical marijuana patch. She has not had, I get choked up. This kid hasn't had a seizure in 3 years. So medical, I'm with you 100%. I just don't think we know enough about the recreational. We don't have enough controls on it to make sure everybody be okay with it. It's going to be a topic we're going to deal with going forward, but just one of those I had to throw out there. AJ, thank you for being there. I think I got to cut away for a break. Yeah, Mike Opelka in for Drew Steele on 92.3. 92.5. Where's 92.3 coming from? 92.5. Fox News, right all along. What am I, stoned?
This is Daybreak. 92.5 Fox News.
Hot out today, huh?
You know it.
Glad the AC's working.
No kidding.
What if the AC quit?
Oh, man. Couldn't do a thing inside then.
Too hot.
No way Ashley could do her homework in here.
Hard to concentrate.
Wouldn't even bother trying to study.
Well,
of course her grades would slip.
Dave.
She could kiss Harvard goodbye.
Dave.
Probably end up homeless. Oh, my little girl.
Dave.
What?
What's the best case scenario?
Best case? Okay, best case, I make one call, AC's back up and running right away, everything's fine.
That's best?
Oh, sure, but...
That's best. Best Home Services. They have 4 AC trucks standing by waiting for you to call, loaded with parts, ready to go.
Right now?
Right now.
Huh. Sure is hot out today.
GetBest.com. When something goes wrong, we're waiting.
So you're saying
she can still go to Harvard.
Hey, it's Drew Steele visiting with my good friend TJ, owner of the Floor Meisters in Naples. And, you know, TJ, we talk about core tech. A lot of people talk about core tech, But tell people and explain why so many people love their CoreTech floors.
CoreTech is built to be waterproof, kid-proof, and pet-proof. It looks just like wood, comes anywhere from 6 inches wide to 9 inches wide, all the way up to 86 inches long. Comes in a wide variety of colors, with a bevel, without a bevel, warm tones, cool tones, any color to make your house look beautiful.
So you want to see it for yourself? Go to the Floor Meisters. You're going to really love it. 6281 Naples Boulevard next to Costco. Give them a call. 239-596-4964. 239-596-4964. Or on the web at floormeisters.com.
92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 8 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station, 92.5 Fox News.
He says America's back. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
The development, manufacture, and distribution of vaccines in record time is a true miracle of science. It's one of the most extraordinary achievements any country has ever accomplished.
President Biden, in his first primetime address a year after the coronavirus was declared a pandemic. Fox's Rachel Sutherland has more of his message live.
Dave, declaring independence from the coronavirus, President Biden looking to July 4th for some return to normalcy.
Small groups will be able to get together after this long, hard year. That will make this Independence Day something truly special.
The president called on Americans to remain vigilant, warning restrictions may return if conditions change.
We've made so much progress. This is not the time to let up.
President Biden said he's directing states to make all American adults eligible for a vaccine by May 1st. Dave?
And Rachel, by the end of May, he says there'll be enough doses for all adults. The president also last night hailed the COVID financial aid bill he signed earlier in the day. There will be a celebration at the White House this afternoon.
It extends unemployment benefits. It helps small businesses. It lowers health care premiums for many. It provides food and nutrition, keeps families in their homes.
But Republicans who voted against the $1.9 trillion plan called it too big, full of a lot of other non-COVID spending. Things got ugly again last night in Portland, Oregon.
Hey, what's up? Get back! Get back!
Protesters at a federal courthouse set fires and smashed windows, then clashed with officers who fired tear gas and smoke bombs, all after Mayor Ted Wheeler requested $2 million in funding for police and other agencies to deal with a recent rise in violence. Portland's police budget was cut in June amid calls for reform after George Floyd's death in Minneapolis, where a sixth juror has been seated to put a fired police officer on trial for murdering Floyd, even though that juror admits he has a very negative impression of ex-officer Derek Chauvin. America's listening to Fox News.
This Wink News update is presented by New South Window Solutions. Find them online at newsouthwindow.com.
Wink News traffic.
Traffic is slowing down on 29. We are at 6 miles per hour. If you're heading north of Newmarket all the way to 82, this is backed up. Do not head this way if you do not have to. Also, a crash in Lehigh Acres at Leonard and Lee is still causing slowdowns. Heading westbound on Lee Boulevard towards 82. We do have a crash on the interstate. This is at mile marker 111 heading south to Immokalee Road. Luckily, traffic is not backed up. The Trip to the Minute traffic, I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
For today, we'll start with some pretty pleasant weather. Temperatures in the 50s and 60s, and then a high of 83. Mostly sunny and dry, with our winds breezy at times. Fantastic beach weekend. Couldn't ask for anything better. It's going to be a warm one, but plenty of sunshine from start to finish. High temperature of 84 on Saturday, 85 on Sunday, and more warm weather into all of next week. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
I won't give up the ship.
Talking about what matters.
This country is too great to throw over to communism. I love it.
92.5 Fox News.
Hi, this is Earl Ron, president of New South Window. At New South, we are determined to build the best Florida window. Energy-efficient windows that stand up to heat and hurricanes. We call it the ultimate Florida window. Factory direct and guaranteed for life. New South has installed tens of thousands of windows across the state and has been named one of the fastest growing window companies in the nation. And that is why we're New South proud.
Going on now. Save 35% off factory direct windows and doors. Visit newsouthwindow.com.
The Diamond District has the largest selection of GIA certified
diamonds at the most competitive prices in the world. Jason and Todd have partnered with De Beers in Canada and Africa, and they've traveled to Israel, Antwerp, and India to select the most beautiful diamonds. Visit the Diamond District today for your best diamond buying experience.
Water is life in Southwest Florida. It drives our economy from tourism to fishing to boating and quality of life. This is Adam Botana from Baywater Exclusive Boat Club, and we talk water for an hour every weekend on Fox News Radio. We feature guests on water quality, water safety, and water fun, including great boating day trips and tips on fishing. Join us this Saturday at 7 a.m. for the Baywater Exclusive Boat Club Hour with Adam Botana on 92.5 Fox News.
People sometimes may wonder why they need a big law firm after their injury. Name one small insurance company. Couldn't think of one, could you? Didn't think so. Most insurance companies are big, really big. They have thousands of lawyers. Imagine it's a beautiful day, sun is shining, birds singing. You're on your way to work, and then bam, your whole life changes in that second. Forever. You're injured, and now you have to fight for justice or live your life in pain. Let me give you some straight talk. Your opponent is not the driver of the car that hit you, it's their insurance company. When you're fighting to get what you deserve, it's go big or go home. We are big for a reason, which is why we've recovered over $9 billion for our clients. Over $1 billion in one case alone. When it comes to law, size matters. We're America's largest injury law firm, Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Got mold?
In your house?
What do I do now?
Call 239-936-1033.
Call Fire Service, your disaster response.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steele.
Well, it's not quite Drew Steele. Mike Opelka in for my buddy Drew Steele. I'm usually here Fridays about 8:30, but I'm here all day today. I might even hang out all stinking day. Who knows? I could show up this evening, join Trey, whatever. Anyway, I'm here right now for the duration of this program. 239-479-5592 is the phone number, and you're welcome to weigh in on anything and everything. John is calling from Cape Coral and held through the news. It's got to be something very important. John, welcome to the show, sir.
Hey, welcome. Good morning. I just had a question, or what you thought. Maybe I'm crazy, but if Trump was impeached for his insurrection, quote unquote, how is what Joe Biden doing at the borders, allowing people with COVID to come in, not an impeachable offense, or meet the criteria of basically domestic terrorism as the FBI's definition, because he's putting American lives in jeopardy for his own political gain?
Here's the way this works, John, and you're not wrong, but impeaching Joe Biden for what's going on at the border is as valid as impeaching Donald Trump for what allegedly he was involved in on January 6th. They're both political stretches. If Biden had knowledge and had planned to swarm the border or work with Mexico and or any terrorists who might be coming across the border, because it's not just people from Central America, it's people from other places. But here's the theory. I thought you were going to go to this theory because I keep hearing this, and it's the wildest theory ever, that Donald Trump should run for a congressional seat in Florida in 2022 in the midterms. He would win, and when the GOP takes the House back, Donald Trump becomes Speaker of the House, then he impeaches Biden and Harris, and he becomes the president. It's one of the funnier and more interesting political chess pieces, but I don't think there's a snowball's chance in hell of it happening. But it is, when you think about it, it's anything will happen that can, right? That's the laws of probability. Anything will happen that can. It just may take longer. But that's a crazy one. I think Biden's he's more apt to tell us this one day.
I'll develop some disease and say I have to resign.
Yeah, I think that's more likely. More likely. But thank you. I appreciate you being there. And we should keep telling our elected representatives that this should not happen and cut it out. But I appreciate you, John. Thank you, sir. Have a great weekend. I think I have a phone call here from my friend Wendy Patrick. Wendy Patrick is an attorney, an author, a public speaker. She's a prosecutor out in California. And with everything going on with the George Floyd trial, I thought we should get Wendy on the horn here and ask Wendy some questions about what's going on with the jury selection and the trial. So, Wendy Patrick, I am so glad you're here. Welcome, my friend.
Oh, it's always a pleasure. The topics that we discuss are always so interesting.
Yeah, there's a wild one I want to ask you about. Maybe we'll get to it. But this story is growing. And you said earlier that it might be 2 to 3 weeks before all this is done. But at the end of Thursday, they have 6 jurors seated. And I understand they usually need 15 or 14 because you have to have alternates and all that. The breakdown right now is 5 men and 1 woman. And among them, they've done a racial breakdown. This comes from Paul Blum. He's a Fox News reporter. 3 white, 1 Hispanic, 1 black, 1 multiracial, which always seems weird to me that they have to, post race on this, but, we're all obsessed with it. The defense has used 7 out of 15 strikes, and the state has used 4 of 9, and they'll be back in court tomorrow. Now, from those numbers with 5 men and 1 woman, we're just past like a third of what they're going to need. Is it weird the defense has used so many strikes?
No, it never really is. When you're picking a jury, gosh, you talk about a challenging task in a normal case. I say normal, meaning not high profile. When you're trying to pick a jury in the fishbowl where everybody is watching, it is enormously important that you really screen these people very well. And the trick, Mike, you don't have a limited number of challenges for cause. You do have a limited number of what's called peremptory challenges, and that's what you've been talking a little bit about. But if you are representing somebody that you're worried about jurors having prejudged the case, because that's what we do in the court of public opinion, right? We arrest, we try, and we charge, and we convict people before they ever get to a court of law.
Yes.
So finally, we're in a court of law here. You can imagine it's an uphill battle finding jurors that haven't already prejudged this case. So when you do that, you are going to be exercising a lot of challenges. You probably wish you had an unlimited amount, not just of challenges for cause, but also of peremptory challenges, because it's very difficult to be able to pick a jury in a case that has received this much scrutiny over the last year. It has been a sustained amount of scrutiny for a long period of time.
Yeah, it's been insane, the amount of coverage it's received, and now it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, and it's going to be going on for a while. One of the guys over at One America News Network, Jack Posobiec, a blue check mark on the Twitter, reports that Chauvin's lawyers have tracked down all of the pro-Black Lives Matter social media posts of potential jurors and are reading them back to people who are going through the selection process. Have you seen social media being used to include or exclude potential jurors?
Oh, it's one of the number one ways in which lawyers are able to decide whether or not they want to select certain jurors. The question usually isn't, can you use social media? Should you use social media? But how do you do it in time if you're picking a jury quickly? When you have cases like this, where jury selection actually goes on for an extended period of time, you have the luxury of investigating who's going to be on your panel. Some of the most sensational, high-profile cases in the nation over the last decade have excused jurors because what they've been saying on social media completely contradicts what they're claiming in the courtroom. And we could say that with anybody. Social media is sort of a lie detector on many levels for many different types of reasons. Family members, who is on vacation, who isn't, how you're spending your free time. If you're a potential juror, you take an oath in the courtroom to tell the truth. And if it is in contradiction to what you've represented online, obviously this is the kind of thing that lawyers want to explore. And it doesn't bode well for your ability to be seated on a case if you don't have that level of consistency.
I'm hearing that, and I'm reading something that there's a report on one person identified as Juror 41, a woman who was quickly dismissed for cause because she told the court she did not believe she could be impartial. And she described the George Floyd death as having a significant impact on her life. And she now volunteers at a nonprofit to help with societal change. Usually, if I always wonder if I'm being called for jury duty, if I tell the judge, I don't think I can be fair. I'm worried they're going to tell me, well, you're going to have to be fair. You got to stay here, little mister. Is this an unusual situation? Someone actually telling
No, you would never be kept in a courtroom if you said you couldn't be fair. And, what we worry about, and I picked over 100 jurors in my own cases, what we worry about is that jurors know that's a way to get out of jury duty. In the real world, we would never keep somebody that said they couldn't be fair. That would be the antithesis of the reason we have jury selection. What we worry about more than that, though, Mike, because that's the easy case, we worry more about somebody that has all the indicia of never being able to be fair. They either had a bad experience with cops, they are a leader in the, Justice for George Floyd movement, any of the things that either side would say, boy, they certainly sound like they've already made up their mind. When someone like that says, but I can be fair, that is what really worries lawyers. That's what peremptory challenges are for, Mike.
Anytime the butt comes out, I get nervous.
However, in light of all the foregoing, I can nonetheless be fair. No, nobody's going to take that chance.
But for your history, you're excluded.
Right, you're out of there. The problem with that, Mike, though, is you have to burn a peremptory because that's not a challenge for cause. A judge will say, well, you heard her. She said she could be fair.
Yeah, boy, that's interesting. This process fascinates me, and I half wish I could be there, but I know I'd be there forever and ever and ever. Wendy, we didn't talk about it. I got a couple minutes left here. The site where George Floyd died, where he was killed or died, depending on which story you believe. There has been violence there constantly for the last week, including a shooting that took someone's life last Saturday. But there's still, I don't know how Minneapolis keeps a lid on this, but it seems like this is a tinderbox waiting to explode. And we're hearing family members say, it'll be okay as long as we get the right verdict. I'm really nervous for Minneapolis, as the weather's warm. If this happened in the winter and the trial happened in the dead of winter and the temperatures are like minus 10 below zero, I don't think there's as much of a chance as people going out and causing trouble. But I'm very nervous that this verdict will come out after the spring and the weather is warm. And if it's, as the George Floyd's family said, if it's not the right verdict, Minneapolis is burning down again. I'm real nervous.
Language like that makes everybody nervous. Why don't we just seal the verdict and we'll open it next January when we have another polar vortex? I feel your apprehension, and so does everybody that lives in that city. In fact, it's not just Minneapolis. Remember what really characterized those protests last summer is they were all over the nation. This was not in any way, shape, or form confined to that city, although you're correct that it might get the brunt of it. But it reminds me of some of the other cases that we've seen over the course of the last year, where you've also seen language like that. I don't know whether that was inartful or whether it was intentional. Sometimes you don't know. But we want to make sure that regardless of what that jury does, I mean, they're brave to go in there and say, hey, we're going to sit on this jury. We certainly don't want whatever they decide, because it's going to be based on the evidence in the courtroom, to cause that type of apprehension in the community. What distinguishes the jurors in the courtroom from all of the armchair jurors outside the courtroom is the jurors in the courtroom are the only ones that are actually seeing the evidence that's admissible in the case. Not what people are saying the evidence might show, but what actually is going to be presented in the courtroom. And I hope we give deference to their verdict.
Week 1 in the books, Wendy. Week 1 in the books, and we will be following this and leaning on you. You should lean on Wendy, too. Go to wendypatrickphd.com. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you, Mike.
And there she goes, Wendy Patrick, always open to my idiotic questions about the law. I didn't get to bring up the fact that it looks like that area where George Floyd died. What is it called? George Floyd Plaza now. It's now appearing to be an autonomous zone. Last night there was a call for police help because of some violence. It might have been a shooting. It might have been a stabbing. And when the police showed up, the crowd basically told them, "You're not welcome here." I'm sorry, what? No, that's not how it works. And these will be the people who are mad at the police when somebody dies. Apparently, cops are saying that the people at the George Floyd Plaza, when a fight breaks out or someone fires a gun, the evidence, the shell casings are picked up. So the cops don't have anything that they can use to investigate. Very infuriating, very infuriating. Anyway, just a little twist on that, because I'm following, this is the trial of Derek Chauvin. And based on everything I'm seeing, this guy's not going to be convicted of murder. And that scares me even more, because we could be in for a repeat again next summer. All right, I'm stepping aside. Mike Opelka here, sitting in for Drew. 239-479-5592 is the number, 239-479-5592. Join us. Open topics. It's a Friday. It gets freaky, and we'll try and deal with everything. We'll be right back on 92.5 Fox News.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
Traffic is slowing down on 29. We are at 6 miles per hour if you're heading north of Newmarket all the way to 82. This is backed up. Do not head this way if you do not have to. Also, a crash in Lehigh Acres at Leonard and Lee is still causing slowdowns heading westbound on Lee Boulevard towards 82. We do have a crash on the interstate. This is at mile marker 111 heading south to Immokalee Road. Luckily, traffic is not backed up. The Trip to the Minute traffic, I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
83 degrees for your Friday, mostly sunny, and we keep all that sunshine going through your awesome beach weekend forecast coming up. High temperatures still remaining into the 80s. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
The antidote to the anti-conservatives. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
After a car accident, you can feel like you've lost control. I'm Mark Anajar from the law offices of Anajar and Levine. After the crash, call the police and document the scene by taking photos of all the vehicles involved. If you were injured, get medical attention as soon as possible. If you've been involved in a car accident, call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733 for a free consultation. And take back control of your life.
Offices Fort Myers and Naples.
Hi, this is Keith, the owner of Storm Shield Windows in North Fort Myers, and Storm Shield wants you to be prepared for the upcoming season. Global Weather Oscillations, an organization that predicts storms and hurricanes, has just been cited as the most accurate in storm forecasting by the media. Professor David Dilley, senior forecaster for Global Weather Oscillations, says that GWO's Climate Pulse technology model indicates that some regions of the United States have entered or will be entering the most dangerous hurricane landfall cycle in 70 years.
The experience with their product was great. We went through the storm. We didn't have to rush around and get plywood. We didn't have to put up shutters. It wasn't loud. It wasn't scary. There was no noise at all. We could see outside the whole time. We felt safe, and I just can't thank Storm Shield enough for the quality of their product and the peace of mind and security that it gave my family and me through the storm.
Enjoy the peace of mind, safety, and security that Storm Shield Hurricane Windows and Doors will add to your home. Call Storm Shield for a free in-home estimate today at 239-491-7000. 491-7002.
License number CGCA 60475.
Is your car a 2012 or newer with less than 120,000 miles on it? Would you rather be driving a brand new Nissan equipped with all the latest technology and safety features? Hey, Aaron Walker here from Naples Nissan. If your trade-in is a 2012 or newer, yes, a 2012 or newer with less than 120,000 miles on it, we'll give you the original base MSRP for it so you can drive home in a brand new Nissan. Bring us that old Chevy, Honda, Toyota, Ford. We don't care where you bought it from. We don't care if you bought it new or used. Go to NaplesNissan.com, Pick out your favorite new Nissan model with Bluetooth, backup camera, and that new car smell. You can have it all today after we pay you what you paid for your trade-in. Don't wait. Get full details at naplesnissan.com. Offers on select models with approved credit and cannot be combined.
This is State Representative Spencer Roach with a legislative update from the state capitol in Tallahassee, where we've wasted no time getting to work to honor our commitment to protect Floridians from bad actors looking to capitalize on this pandemic. This week, we passed 2 bills off the House floor. House Bill 7 raises the standard and makes it harder to bring a COVID lawsuit against businesses, schools, nonprofits, and churches. Responsible business owners who make good faith efforts to protect their customers should never be subject to the extortionary tactics of lawyers looking to cash in. We also passed House Bill 9, which creates criminal penalties to protect Floridians from scammers related to PPE and vaccines. Times are tough enough right now without having to worry about being scammed. This is State Representative Spencer Roach. Thanks for listening. Stay tuned and stay engaged, because this is your government and we work for you. Sponsored by Friends of Spencer Roach, Post Office Box 3179, North Fort Myers, Florida 33918.
NCH Heart Institute is home to the most experienced and most dedicated team of physicians and nurses in Southwest Florida. Over the past 30 years, NCH Heart Institute has mastered the quality, the care, and the holistic patient experience that can only be found within a nationally ranked heart institute. Caring for patient, mind, heart, and body. That's the cornerstone of our critical care team, which ranks in the top 2% of all hospitals in America.
NCH Heart Institute, at the heart of what matters most.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
Happy Friday. Welcome to Friday. Mike Opelka sitting in for my friend Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News. Daybreak, although day has already broken and we are into it. It is the weekend. Well, it's the start of the work day. It's almost the weekend for Jake and me. And we're looking at the exit. I see you, Jake, looking. You're eyeing the exit right now. You're ready to go. Your meat stick in hand. Yeah, I like that evil laugh. Yeah, but we're going to take it all the way through the finish line and give you as much good information as we can. There's something that I have not been using Snopes as a fact-checking source for years. Years ago, we were told, oh, you got to go to Snopes if you want to know whether or not a news story is real or if it's Bravo Sierra. No, Snopes is a liberal outlet. And I have proof. Snopes should not be trusted. Snopes is a tool of the left and frequently is wrong. I don't have time to get through it all here because we're almost up against the break here. But I will give you absolute, indisputable proof that the Snopes people are not working with the truth as their top priority when they fact check things. So that's coming up just around the corner. And maybe we'll get into the Second Amendment a little bit. Mike Opelka in for Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News, right all along.
This is Daybreak, 92.5 Fox News.
Hey, it's Jake DeMolino here from Daybreak to talk about AMCO of Bonita Springs. Everyone's been affected by the pandemic, and I was definitely no exception. But here's the thing. I had an issue, a well-known issue. Kevin and Todd came to the rescue, effectively giving me my life back. They put their expertise to work on my transmission that was completely shot. His master mechanic told me that it was probably the worst transmission he's seen in his 30 years of working. And let me tell you, he knocked it out of the park. He helped me, and I'm sure he can help you as well. AMCO of Bonita Springs has been trusted in Southwest Florida since 2008. They've been through pandemics, recessions, you name it. They're located right off of Burnwood Drive in Bonita, an independent, conservative AMCO dealer whose award-winning customer service speaks for itself. They work on all makes and models, and they don't just do transmissions. They can do oil changes, normal maintenance, tires, you name it. For those of you out there with classic cars, there's no one I could trust more than Kevin and Todd with something I know you cherish and is so near and dear to you. So give Kevin and Todd a call at AMCO of Bonita Springs. 239-992-2626. 239-992-2626.
True relief.
for back and neck pain.
Are you driving down the road right now with back or neck pain or pain into your arms or legs? Maybe your struggle is getting out of your bed or chair. Maybe you get weakness when you put weight on your leg or swing your golf club. It's time you address this problem once and for all. At Johnston Spinal Care 596 Back, these are the conditions that we treat every day, except we treat the root of the problem. No injections or pain meds. Non-surgical spinal decompression, recognized around the country for incredible statistical results for long-term pain relief. Break the cycle of pain from sciatica, stenosis, neuropathy, arthritis, or car accidents. Non-surgical spinal decompression can get your life back. Spinal decompression is safe and comfortable for any age and doesn't involve any hanging upside down. Don't hurt anymore when the answer is only a phone call away. Call our Medicare-friendly office, Johnston Spinal Care, for a free telephone consultation. 596-BACK. 596-BACK. That's 596-2225.
The Mega Mall Meat Sale in Fort Myers and Port Charlotte right now for a limited time. Hurry now. 20 ribeyes for $30. EBT, credit cards, debit cards, all payments accepted. Last chance to compare 5-star steaks to Omaha Steak Box steak deals and save on the ribeyes. 20 ribeyes for $30. Look for the big tent at Edison Mall at the Cleveland Road entrance. Also look for the big truck at the Port Charlotte Town Center in the JCPenney parking lot behind Red Lobster. Also on the big truck, crazy deals on premium steak, pork, seafood, and gourmet chicken breast. Everything must go. It's a truckload meat mania sale. Look for the big tent at the Edison Mall at the Cleveland Road entrance. Also look for the big truck at the Port Charlotte Town Center in the JCPenney parking lot behind Red Lobster. Crazy deals on Kansas City strips, fillets, bacon wrap fillets, mega ribeyes, and get 20 ribeyes for $30. The Mega Mall Meat Sale going on now at Edison Mall in Port Charlotte Town Center. Don't wait.
President Biden says he wants coronavirus vaccine eligibility opened up to all Americans by May 1st. In a primetime White House address marking 1 year since the start of the pandemic, he also criticizes former President Trump's response without mentioning him by name.
A year ago, we were hit with a virus that was met with silence and spread unchecked. Denials for days, weeks, then months.
$1,400 direct payments in the coronavirus spending bill the president signed yesterday could start arriving this weekend. New York State's legislature takes the first step toward possibly impeaching Governor Andrew Cuomo.
With mounting numbers of Democrats calling for Governor Cuomo to resign, the Speaker of the New York State Assembly, Carl Hastie, authorized lawmakers to open a Judiciary Committee investigation surrounding several allegations of sexual misconduct.
Fox's Laura Green. America's listening to Fox News.
This update is presented by Stevie Tomato Sports Page in Fort Myers, Cape Coral, and Naples.
Wink News traffic.
Traffic is slowing down on 29. We are at 6 miles per hour. If you're heading north of Newmarket all the way to 82, this is backed up. Do not head this way if you do not have to. Also, a crash in Lehigh Acres at Leonard and Lee is still causing slowdowns. Heading westbound on Lee Boulevard towards 82. We do have a crash on the interstate. This is at mile marker 111 heading south to Immokalee Road. Luckily, traffic is not backed up. The Trip to the Minute traffic, I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
For today, we'll start with some pretty pleasant weather. Temperatures in the 50s and 60s, and then a high of 83. Mostly sunny and dry, with our winds breezy at times. Fantastic beach weekend. Couldn't ask for anything better. It's going to be a warm one, but plenty of sunshine from start to finish. High temperature of 84 on Saturday, 85 on Sunday, and more warm weather into all of next week. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Serving up a tray load of truth today on 92.5 Fox News.
It's Big Al from Stevie Tomato Sports Page. Do you feel American pride and want to shout, God bless America? As a son of immigrants who came through Ellis Island, I stand when the national anthem plays and get emotional thinking of those who have sacrificed for America's greatness. At Stevie's, we're filled with gratitude for our great customers and the country we live in. The firemen, police, emergency service, construction workers, and those who go about each day providing the foundation for our country. We love our customers and express our gratitude with our food, service, and value. Thankful for your dedication for what you do. And to all our great customers. Show your love for this great country by going to any Stevie's. Stand at the bar and say loud and clear for all to hear, God bless America, and I'll buy you a 10-ounce beer. Restrictions apply in Cape Coral, Fort Myers, and Naples. God bless America.
Stevie Tomatoes, sports page. Come for the food. Stay for the sports.
Trust. It's the rock-solid foundation of Moran Wealth Management. Over 40 years ago, they began advising clients on ways to help meet their financial goals. 4 decades later, we've helped many reach their goals of providing for themselves, their families, and future generations. CEO Tom Moran has assembled an impressive team of professionals, each committed to the same core concept. Tom is recognized by Barron's as a Hall of Fame advisor. To be named a Hall of Fame advisor, the advisor has to have been ranked by Barron's consecutively for the last 10 years in any of their rankings. Let us earn your trust. Call 239-920-4440 or visit moranwm.com. Barron's rankings are based on data provided by thousands of advisors. Factors included in the rankings were assets under management, revenue produced for the firm, regulatory record, length of service, quality of practice, and client retention. Investment products and services are offered through Wells Fargo Advisors Financial Network, LLC, WFAFN, member SIPC. Moran Wealth Management is a separate entity from WFAFN.
Look and feel your best with Dr. Patrick Flaherty, hosted by me, Gina Birch. Want to hear the latest from an expert? Tune in Saturday at 10 a.m. and hear all the latest innovations in non-surgical, surgical, and lifestyle ideas to help you look and feel your best. Dr. Patrick Flaherty is known for his faces, the fabulous Azul Spa, and now you get your hour with this doctor every Saturday at 10 a.m. Dr. Patrick Flaherty's show is Look and Feel Your Best, hosted by me, Gina Birch. Tune in this Saturday at 10 a.m. and hear how to look and feel your best.
By now, you've heard all of our ads. America's largest injury law firm. But what does that really mean for our clients, for you? It means that when you hire us, you don't just get a lawyer, you get a legal army, almost 800 lawyers alone. That army includes an entire legal team, specialist lawyers, investigators, and a 24/7 client satisfaction staff. Just like if you were going into surgery, you wouldn't trust one person to handle the paperwork, the scheduling, the anesthesia, and the surgery. Have you ever seen a surgeon operating alone and without resources? No way. Why would you trust a small firm with your case? Your case is a big deal to us. When it comes to law, size matters. We're America's largest injury law firm, Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
This is 92.5.
It is 92.5 Fox News, right all along. Daybreak without Drew Steele today. Mike Opelka here, sitting in for my friend Drew Steele. And we've got a few things we have to take care of before we get out of here. I teased something earlier. I teased earlier that the organization Snopes, which likes to consider itself to be a fact-checking organization, is not a fact-checking organization. In fact, they have Bravo Sierra in their blood, if you know what I'm saying. They do not give you an honest and fair assessment. As a matter of fact, I'm giving them 4 Pinocchios on something they recently did. Snopes is carrying water for the Democratic Party, and as such for Joseph Robinette Biden Jr., the president of these here United Snakes of America. And I have the example. This is so irritating to me. You remember just the other day when Joseph Robinette Biden Jr. was promoting a couple of generals from 3-star to 4-star status. Now, that's a big stinking deal. And he was promoting 2 women generals from 3-star to 4-star. With him in this solemn ceremony with these 2 generals getting their promotions was his Vice President, Kamala Harris, and his Secretary of Defense, Lloyd Austin. Lloyd Austin being the very first black Secretary of Defense in the history of this nation. Lloyd Austin had risen to the rank of 4-star general himself, no small accomplishment. And now he's the Secretary of Defense, not just one of the generals, but the head cheese, if you will, over the entire defense group. So the Secretary of Defense, Lloyd Austin, a guy who's breaking barriers is at this ceremony that is celebrating breaking of barriers, if you will, a glass ceiling for these two females who are moving up the ladder, getting an extra star. And Joe Biden is up there speechifying when he forgets the name of the Secretary of Defense. Kind of a big deal, you would think. I mean, you had to vet the guy, you had to interview the guy, you had to approve him. You probably had to spend some time with him, probably had lunch inside the White House in the Navy dining room, which is right across from the Situation Room, a half a flight down from the main floor there. So you probably walked down there with him and had that nice lunch there. You would think he would remember him, but apparently he didn't or couldn't.
I want to thank the former general. I keep calling him general, but the guy who runs that outfit over there.
The guy who runs that outfit over there, and that outfit over there would be the Pentagon. That's that outfit over there. Biden has a history of this. Has a big time history of this. Remember when he was campaigning, he couldn't remember Mitt Romney's name?
If you may remember, I got in trouble when we were running against the senator who was a Mormon, the governor, okay? And I took him on.
Yeah, the senator who was a Mormon, the governor, what, who? This is part of the mental decline of this guy. He can't remember.
I want to thank the former general. I keep calling him general, but the guy who runs that outfit over there.
Astounding. It's just astounding to me. But then again, he also did this on the campaign trail, finishing up one of his big speeches.
Wake up. Get to work. There's so much more to be done.
It's amazing. Just amazing. So Snopes, this organization that isn't a fact-checking organization, presents itself as such. Well, they came out and tried to address this. The Secretary of Defense forgetfulness about his name. And Snopes concedes that Biden in the video is fumbling his words, and he blanks out on Lloyd Austin's name at one point in the speech. But they bizarrely added a claim that's really not true. They said he got stuck doing an extended folksy ad-lib after initially tripping over his words. That's the excuse given. Quote, got stuck doing an extended folksy ad-lib after initially tripping over his words. Snopes is a left-leaning organization. They are not interested in the truth. They are carrying the water for the Democratic Party. And for a guy who probably isn't, we should put some bets down right now. We should pick a date by which time we think Joseph Robinette Biden Jr. will be bailing out, where he'll say, I can't do this anymore. Remember, he told us on the campaign trail.
Well, I'll develop some disease and say I have to resign.
That's where he's going with this. It sure feels that way. And I'm going to get some heat from some of the Biden fans. I'm going to get some heat from people saying I'm not giving him enough credit. No, we've given him a ton of credit. We've given him a whole lot of credit. Too much, in my opinion. After all, he seems to be a puppet at this point. I still don't know if that speech last night was live or was it Memorex, although there was a small media gaggle that was there. A couple of them tried to shout questions, but those did not get answered, of course. He just left. It's 51 days now that Joe Biden has been in office, and we have not had an actual press conference with the president of the United States. And this this is a record past now World War II. Past World War II. It's because this is a progressive Democratic Party that is pushing us towards socialism, and they don't want to answer the questions from the few conservative media members who are out there. Remember, this is all about progressivism. Jen Psaki told us last week that the bill that Joe Biden signed yesterday, the $1.9 trillion bill, was the most progressive bill in the history of our nation.
Senator Manchin and Senator Sanders and a range of Democrats in between just voted to support a $1.9 trillion package that is the most progressive piece of legislation in history. So I would say we feel pretty good about that.
Yeah, you can feel pretty good about it, but in a couple of years, when you're telling us just how much you're going to tax us, and you will tell us how much you're going to tax us because you are going to have to tax us, trust me, that's the next thing coming. Elizabeth Warren is working on a wealth tax, which is a confiscation beyond what the IRS taxes normally are, a wealth tax, and she hasn't given us the full details on it, but they believe that they're going to come in and take from the people they deem have too much. I wonder what the level is going to be. What do you think the amount of money for the wealth tax is going to be? Will they gauge it on the wealthiest member of Congress, the wealthiest senator, the wealthiest House member? That's going to be the line where they draw. What about Barack Obama's wealth? What about Joe Biden's wealth? Because, 10% for the big guy. The confiscation is coming. They're going to try it. That's why the midterm elections are going to be very important, people. We have to do a whole lot to make sure we take back the House and maybe take back the Senate. It's going to be tough. They're already putting up their little systems. And I will tell you this, Pelosi and the Democrats are not above finding a way to push out members of the House that are Republicans and replace them with someone else. For example, there is a seat in the House of Representatives that was won and confirmed by the state legislature and by the state offices in Iowa. It's a Republican seat in Iowa. The margin of victory was 6 votes. 6 votes. And it was only decided about a month ago. They finally figured this out. This battle back and forth over this one congressional district came down to 6 votes. The state certified the election. The woman was sworn in on January 3rd, I guess. So it did happen a little bit back, 2 months back. The congresswoman was sworn in. But yesterday, the word came out that Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats were looking at holding hearings to decide whether or not the certification was legitimate. And if it's not, they will remove a Republican, a legally elected and certified Republican member of the House, and replace that person as they see fit. Chad Pergram from Fox cornered Nancy Pelosi on it yesterday, and she admitted as such.
Could you see a scenario, depending on what they find in their probe, of unseating the current member and seating Rita Hart if it came to that?
Chad is always the hypothetical. Could you see a scenario?
That would be a pretty bold move.
Yeah, but there could be a scenario to that extent.
So Pelosi won't dismiss it because they know that that's what they're up to. They're basically looking to steal a seat. The margin that the Democrats have in terms of a majority in the House is so skinny. Had they lost 5 votes on the passage of the giant stimulus bill, of the COVID relief bill, of this rescue plan, had they lost 5 votes, it would have failed. That's it, 5. So they're looking to get anything they can. And they also know that the 2022 midterm elections are going to be really important. Vital, as a matter of fact. All right, I'm almost out of here. If you have any last thoughts you want to share, I have a couple last thoughts. I am concerned that when I wake up every morning, the country I see is not a country I recognize. And I'll point out a few more items for you just around the corner. Mike Opelka in for Drew Steele. And you can get in a last word if you want. 239-479-5592. It's Daybreak on 92.5 Fox News.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
Degrees for your Friday, mostly sunny, and we keep all that sunshine going through your awesome beach weekend forecast coming up. High temperatures still remaining into the 80s. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
You don't have to feel distant. Come join the conversation.
I want to say I love America because everyone gets a voice.
This is 92.5 Fox News. Right. All along.
Your home is more important now than ever before. So when your air conditioner needs maintenance, repair, or replacing, Conditioned Air wants to be your first and only call. The Florida weather can be challenging. When you have a cooling issue, our team is here to resolve it quickly and efficiently. You can be assured of honesty, respect, and our desire to exceed your expectations every single time, and we've been doing that since 1962. Conditioned Air, 1-888-COLD-AIR, or online at conditionedair.com. License number CAC 1819590.
Hi, this is Keith, the owner of Storm Shield Windows in North Fort Myers, and Storm Shield wants you to be prepared for the upcoming season. Global Weather Oscillations, an organization that predicts storms and hurricanes, has just been cited as the most accurate in storm forecasting by the media. Professor David Dilley, senior forecaster for Global Weather Oscillations, says that GWO's Climate Pulse technology model indicates that some regions of the United States have entered or will be entering the most dangerous hurricane landfall cycle in 70 years.
The experience with their product was great. We went through the storm. We didn't have to rush around and get plywood. We didn't have to put up shutters. It wasn't loud. It wasn't scary. There was no noise at all. We could see outside the whole time. We felt safe, and I just can't thank Storm Shield enough for the quality of their product and the peace of mind and security that it gave my family and me through the storm.
Enjoy the peace of mind, safety, and security that Storm Shield hurricane windows and doors will add to your home. Call Storm Shield for a free in-home estimate today at 239-491-7000. 491-7002.
License number CGCA 60475.
This is Mike Roberts, Vice President at Mortgage Warehouse, Southwest Florida's mortgage price leader and home of the no closing cost mortgage. No points, no hidden fees, no loan costs, period. If the mortgage you have right now was done prior to COVID-19, you should call us for a free review. At Mortgage Warehouse, we understand how frustrating it can be to make your mortgage payment month after month, and the loan balance just doesn't seem to go down. The payment is mostly interest, but we can help with that. We can combine near record low mortgage rates with our local no closing cost program to improve your mortgage payment right away. You do not have to roll any closing costs into your loan balance to get these ultra-low mortgage rates. You can apply online at mortgagewarehouse.com or call 313-5000. That's 313-5000, mortgagewarehouse.com.
Certain restrictions apply. NMLS ID 137154, Equal Housing Lender.
Brand new, custom-made cabinet doors. Drawer fronts, hand-finished by true craftsmen. Designer hardware, new hinges, and everything installed beautifully in less than a week, start to finish. Expensive? No. To the contrary, with refacing by Cornerstone, you'll save so much, we should really talk about your master bathroom, too. Go for wow. Go for Cornerstone.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
How did this happen? How did it get to be almost 9 o'clock? Mike Opelka is sitting in for my friend Drew Steele. 92.5 Fox News. It's a Friday. Feeling pretty good. Even though I wake up and I see a nation that doesn't exactly resemble my dream of America. I'm not a fan of a Democratic House, a Democratic Senate, and a Democratic president, and the giveaways that they are foisting upon us, upon the taxpayers, the productive citizens of this country. I think it's a dangerous precedent that is being set, especially the amount of debt. I'm not a fan of creating these giant pots of money that you have taken from the money we sent you to keep us safe, and you're turning it into gifts to possible voters. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan when you say, well, if people are here in this country, legally or not, everyone gets a check. I don't think the people here illegally deserve the benefit that we give to citizens. And I certainly don't think the people who are incarcerated should be getting a check. Not one. Not the Tsarnaev brothers, not anybody who is behind bars. None of those people should be getting $1,400 from me or from you. I don't recognize that country. That's not America. You know, there's a theory that if you were to take all of the money in the world, all of it from everyone, take everybody's money away, and you would equally divide it between every single person on the planet. Everybody gets the exact same slice of the pie because fairness, right? That's what these socialists believe, that everybody should have the same. Then when they talk about this equity instead of equality, it's equity. That's what they're doing. They want to take all of the chips and then divide them among everybody else. And the theory, which is a pretty solid one, says that if and when that happens, if you fast forward a couple of years, the people who used to be really rich, they will be rich again. And the people who used to be poor, they will be poor again. Because you can't engineer that kind of drive and ambition and work ethic. You can't engineer it. And that's why I'm very nervous about the country I see. Because these people, these Democrats, think they are smarter than you and I. And they think we're not paying attention. And that's why we have to prove to them that we are paying attention. That's why we have to prove to them that we will, in fact, throw their butts out of office if they don't start reading the manual, the real operating manual, the Constitution, versus the 1984 operating manual they've been using for the past couple of years. Am I worried about America? Am I worried about my country? I look at my country and it's not the same country I envision in my head. Am I worried? Yeah. Am I afraid? No. Because of you. Each one of you. Each one of you, each and every day, gives me hope that America will right itself, because the pendulum of politics swings. And right now it is swung very far left, and it will swing back to the right. And when it does, it's going to be hitting some of these people pretty hard and knocking them off the beam. So Ilhan Omar, you can pitch all you want to cancel rent and mortgage payments until 2022. That's not happening, sister. Dianne Feinstein, you can talk about confiscating firearms. It's not happening, sister. And am I being derogatory? Yes, I am. Thank you all for joining me. Drew will be back on Monday. Mike Opelka here on Daybreak, 92.5 Fox News, right all along. Thank you, Jake.
This is Daybreak, 92.5 Fox News.
Hey, it's Adam Botana again from Baywater Exclusive Boat Club, the only family-owned and operated boat club in Southwest Florida. And when it comes to members to boat ratio, bottom line, we have the best fleet and availability at any boat club in the area. Fishing, cruising, water sports, Baywater will get you